Hello there, what are you expecting today? I don't know what you're expecting out of this video, but you should always set an intention for what it is you want to receive. I remember when I used to go to church, the preacher would say, don't ever think, oh yeah, you see that idea I heard from the preacher? That's for my husband. Yeah, that's him. That's for him. My husband should be more loving and caring. I don't want you to watch anything. I don't want you to do anything without setting an intention first, meaning without seeing the outcome or without receiving something from the video. The reason for that is obviously because you don't want to always be searching. You always want to put yourself in a place of receiving. So when you set an intention, you're saying, I'm always receiving, I'm always receiving, I'm always receiving. So whatever you're receiving today, whatever you're going to hear from me, something in there, it's a slice of bread for you, because the bread is in my words, right? You don't feed yourself just with bread from the table, you feed yourself with every word, because that word adds to your understanding, and your understanding gives you the satisfaction. So today I want to talk to you about how do you build your ideal life? How do you build your dream life? Well, first of all, I want you to understand that according to my mentor, here's what she had said, and she is #1 in North America with Proctor Gallagher Institute. She's a coach of Proctor Gallagher Institute, my coach and mentor Bob Proctor. And here's what she had said to us as we as coaches are being coached and mentored. Here's what she said. When I had first started to learn the material, to learn about the laws of the universe, she said, I began to operate with them for me. And here's what she noticed. She affirmed for 11 days something that she wanted to have in her life. After 11 days, she received it, and for the continuous of, I think, another 21 days, she kept receiving the same thing, or the same amount. After 21 days, she stopped affirming, and she said, all of a sudden, things stopped. The water stopped. The flowing stopped. So that should let us know into something. We are the operant power. We're putting this power into operation through our speech, because your authority is in the speech. We know that God in Genesis said, I gave the earth to men. I cannot go down there. I cannot fix your problems until you release me, until you allow me to. Means this image, this ideal outcome and image that you want to receive in reality, it's never going to come to you unless you release it or speak in alignment or affirm it. Now you release the law. So understand that if you just affirm continuously like a crazy person for 3 days and then you stop, that's when the movement outside stops, because it stops with you and runs with you. Where you go, I will go. When you stop, I stop. So today I want to share with you, how can you, first of all, not how do you change. You see, a baby in the woman's womb, we don't know how the baby becomes a baby. We just don't know what forces are at work. We don't know what forces are at work between where we are and where we want to be. We don't know the forces. We don't know how our words really operate. Now we're learning more and more, but we don't have enough knowledge and understanding of how they truly operate. So if my words are also creative and also maintaining that creation in existence and in life, what would I like to hear myself say every day about my body? What would I always like to say about my bank account? And would I like what I say to keep coming into my life? Now, when you understand that your subconscious mind only works with pictures, it's a matter of how big of a picture can I create. Denzel Washington said, dream big, dream really, really big. Jesse Duplantis, he said, I dream big. I dream so big. My great-great-great-grandchildren are going to be satisfied from my provisions. So how far can you think? Think of it. Would you like your great-great-great-grandchild to eat from the fruit of your labor now, the labor of your tongue? Would you like your great-great-great-grandchild to do that? Then why not write that in paper? You need to have more than this lifetime. Yeah, think about the next generations to come. Can you even think like that? Can you even think like that? Every good person leaves a legacy behind. So don't think about manifesting a free cup of coffee or an SP back. There's bigger matters at hand. Life is beyond that. So when you listen to certain people, such as the people that I have mentioned, you see, all these things I've stored within my heart. I did not know at the time why. But see, the right time came, and here they are. They're feeding me. They're coming into the right conversation, the right place, the right time. You are hearing these from me. You are going to think differently from now on. What you become aware of is not to be jealous of, but is to say, I can have that and more. Oh, you're driving a Hummer. I can have that plus a Tesla. Not I'm going to show you, because you're not showing anyone. You're not competing with anyone. It's you saying to yourself, why should I be jealous? I know where the power is. So today I want to, as I'm working on my ideal physical body image, and I do that through my workout channel as well. I teach women how to change their body image. I wrote down my skin and body. I'm going to try to bend this over just so you could see on the table what I have here. Let's see if we can do that. Hold on, let me. All right. So what I wrote here is my skin and body. You are so beautiful and sexy and sensual. Yes, I am so beautiful and sexy and sensual. Now here's what I'm going to show you. Here's where we're going to talk about this. Affirmations are not babbling things. Don't babble like a babbler. I don't hear your words, God says. I hear your heart. When you paint the picture with these words, when you give your soul the image, your subconscious mind the image, God says, I see pictures because I'm a creator of images. Your words shape your reality. Shape the image. He says, show me the image. And that's what you will have. You don't want more words. We have those 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. And God says, listen, you're just a babbler. They're not profiting you nothing. You're not investing in those thoughts. You're going and doing 10 things in one day, but nothing is changing. You're working harder than anyone. Yeah, because here's the thing. Your body rises under the compulsion at every word that you speak. Every word that you speak, your body rises under the compulsion. And your body and your soul are fighting for the mind. You know what the body and the soul says? What a crazy nut this person is. Would you please stop and think about who you are? Would you please stop and understand the laws of the universe? Would you please get to know your identity? Would you please learn how you operate? Would you please stop starving us of images? Would you please stop putting this body through this physical work? Would you please wake up? And we say, no, 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 I know better. No, 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 I know better. And what do? You end up in the darkest night of your soul. And a lot of people, when they end up depressed, they think it's the end of the world. No, 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 it's an awakening. You've been thinking yourself, putting yourself into the grave. Depression is the grave. Now, out of the grave, you must rise. If you still have a desire in the grave to rise from the dead. And so if you rise from the dead, as I have, I went through the darkest night of my soul, but I fought my way out. I wanted to know the answers of who I am, why am I here, and how do I create my reality. I put those into the universe, and the universe says, okay, first we've got to cleanse you. You've got to go back to default. You can't talk, can't speak, can't walk, can't move. Literally, I couldn't do it. He said, okay, now let me show you how it's done. You see what you're thinking? Uh-huh. You see what the images you have? Uh-huh. You see what's happening to your body? Uh-huh. Okay, now let's troubleshoot all of this. So I have learned how to manifest or how to work with the laws of the universe because I've asked the universe to show me. So the universe was my teacher. Now, what that means is that, yes, I've gone through circumstances in the physical and the spirit and emotional that have brought me to that place. But what I come down to realize is that the power is not on the outside, it's all on the inside because your power is in your tongue. So when we're changing our speech, we're saying, first of all, I'm creating something that I don't have. When we're talking about the body image, for example, what we're saying is, all right, I see the problem. Well, what would I like? Well, I would like my skin to be smooth, radiant, glowing, tight, toned, firm. Come on, go on, give me more. Give me more. There's more. I know you want more. What do you want? I want to look 10 years younger. Okay, give me more. Give me more. This is what a coach and a mentor does. Says, okay, there's more inside of you. Come on. Let's squeeze. Let's bring everything out of you. Let's pull everything out of you. Don't go to the grave with all you want inside of you. Tell me more. Yeah, I want to look 10 years younger. What else? What else? What else? What else? My eyes, I want it to be glowing and sparkling. Okay, what else? What else? All right. What else can you think of? What else have you stored in that heart of yours? All right, I want my neck. What do you want with your neck? Okay, what do you want about your shoulder? What about your breast? What about your abs? What about your glutes? What about your thighs? What about your calves? What about all of that? Now, I'm not saying that there's a problem. You just want to enter into the live Photoshop of your mind where you give the soul the image. And we, as Dr. Joe Dispenza says, we're not seeing it through the physical eyes, we're seeing it through the image. So you're going to begin to see your body that way. Either it changes or not. I don't know in the physical. Sometimes I think maybe our eyes are open. Maybe our eyes are open to something, to that image. Maybe all these infinities and ideal body images are already contained within us. We're just bringing it to the surface. But somehow, there's nothing necessarily happening into the physical. I don't know. I don't know why I find myself talking like that. But maybe in the physical it does change. Or maybe it doesn't change. Maybe it's always there. Maybe you always have the billions in your bank account. It's just that you're not seeing them. And you think that you've got to do all this physical work. I don't know, but here's what I'm coming down to, okay? Let's not go into those places, uncharted territories, and I don't know why I said that. I know why I said that, because here's what happened. One day I had a platter I had a plate, I was sitting in front of the TV on the sofa, and I had tomatoes, cheese, olives, and French bread. I'm European, so that's something that's normal in this home. So, take a bite of this, take a bite of that, and I don't know if I had any salami or not. I look at my plate and I go, oh, I have a little bit of bread left, a little bit of tomato and cheese, but I don't have any olives. So my daughter's right behind me on the chair next to the cupboard, and I turned to her and I said, honey, would you please bring me an olive from the kitchen? And when I said that, I saw the jar of olives in the kitchen. That's all I did. And I turned my head, I look on the TV, and then I look at my plate and there's an olive. And I go, that was not there. That was not there. How could I have asked for an olive while it's there? How did it appear? Anyway, so this was a trip of the mind. I don't know. Maybe it was there and I looked at it and I said, I want an olive because of what I had. Or it just, I don't know. I still don't know how to explain that phenomenon. Okay. So, here's what I'm saying. When I say you are beautiful and sexy and sensual, and I go, yeah, I am that. What you're doing is, when you say, yeah, it's the agreement, and you're seeing the picture. So the second time you say, yes, I am, you are so. Yes, I am that. You're going to understand something here too, the power of auto-suggestion. Somebody in your life is always going to come and tell you, you are so beautiful. And instead of you saying, no, I don't think I am, you have developed a language in your subconscious mind of, yes, I am so beautiful and blah, 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 blah. And here's what happens. You put the words of life in someone else's mouth, you do that. So remember, when you say you are so beautiful, sexy, and sensual, you are calling out a person to tell you that. And your response is, I agree, you're absolutely right. I actually see myself. So you're creating this by using the you are and yes I am, the higher awareness of you with the lower awareness, which is, yeah, we see the picture, we're both creating the image, we're both agreeing. But in the physical, this is done in the spirit. It's all thoughts, it's all inner conversation, you're doing all the talking. But there's going to be an actor on the outside that's going to have to pick up this line. And your line will be, yes I am, not, oh gee, thanks. I don't think I am, but gee, thank you. Now, that's the inner dialogue we keep having and responding to life. So understand that there's a bigger thing happening here, okay? When we write these words, you are so beautiful and sexy and sensual. Yes, I am beautiful, sexy, and sensual. You're creating, you're affirming, you're deciding, you're clear, and you become aware. This is going to come to reality, and your energy just keeps rising and rising and rising and rising. And you might post a picture on your Facebook, and all of a sudden somebody leaves a comment and says, wow, you're so beautiful, you're so sexy, you're so sensual. And you go, oh gee whiz, this happened, because this is how it happens for me. okay? But know one thing, as I have mentioned, my coach and mentor said, when I affirm, I think that once I said it, it's done and I let it go. No, you can't buy a plant or put it in the corner of your room and say, well, take care of yourself, honey. No, 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 you've got to give it what it needs. You got to give yourself what you need. So John Assaraf said, I say my affirmations daily for 28 years. He's learned the secret. Sometimes we need to pay attention to these people. If you hear something you've never heard before, that's the slice of bread for you. That you need to capture and store it into your heart, because you don't know when the time comes and you hear something else and it connects the dots in your brain. You have those lights go on. So I'm sure that what I'm sharing with you right now is going to click some lights and go on in your mind. Now, what else would you like to see? Go down and start with the top of your head. What about the color of your hair? What about the strength and the shine of your hair? What about your ears? What about your forehead? What about your chin? What about, and don't say, oh, look, I have the marionette lines. Okay, well, why don't you say my skin is smooth and taut? And see that image of your, try to create that image in your mind as you're focusing on this and you're seeing an image of your wrinkle. You say, it's smooth. I could see it's smooth. And say smooth, smooth, smooth. And you've got to see smooth. And once you see smooth, something's going to happen on the outside. It has to happen because we're seeing life through those images. Now, what's going to happen? I don't know. Don't ask me how the baby shapes itself in a mother's womb. I don't know. You're asking beyond me. I'm just a human according to this level of knowledge and understanding we have. So I don't know how it happens, but we know the laws work all the time. And take every inch of your body and go and scan it. I like to tell my clients, this is the Photoshop, the live Photoshop of your mind. That's a live Photoshop. So if you don't really believe that that works, here's what I know is going to happen. And not in the very far future, you're going to come across other videos that are going to confirm what I've just said to you. And things are going to be put together. So when you hear it more than once, when Jesus spoke twice, that means it is true. So if you hear it from me and you heard it from someone else, pay attention. There's truth in that, okay? If you hear it from me and then you hear it from someone else, there's truth in it. I don't like to speak out of my out of a book. I like to speak out of my belly, which is the kingdom, or which is the experience and application of all that I'm sharing with you. So, are you ready to commit yourself to enter into the live Photoshop of your mind, or fourth dimension, or the kingdom of God, or the universe, whatever you want to call it, or the darkness, or the void? Because you create out of the void. You create out of nothing. You create out of thoughts. Your spirit is creative, and your spirit are your thoughts. And so Florence Scovel-Shinn, when she dissolves the negative affirmations, she says, now you are dissolved into nothingness where you came from, because that is where we call things out of the darkness, out of the grave, out of the void, out of nothing. Our fears are created out of nothing. Our love is created out of nothing, okay? And so how do you put these words in order? I want to share this with you, and I want to make this video under 20 minutes. My financial mentor, one of these days I'm going to share his name with you. When he first operated with the laws of the universe, he is a hunter. Besides him being a multimillionaire, owning his own financial company, and he started as a depressed person, as an insurance sales agent. He was teaching people how to invest their money, but he had no money of his own. So it's an amazing story. But when he learned the power of the tongue and the laws of the universe, he wrote down that he wanted, because he loves to hunt deer, he wrote down what he wanted to receive when he was going to go in the field. And he said, I want a buck, and a buck 5-point or bigger, which is 5 horns, and a button buck, which is a little doe that has 2 little horns. It's not a doe, actually, it's a little buck. And so you cannot kill the doe, the mother, but you can kill the males. And so in his state, they could only hunt for 2 bucks. And he said, okay, I want a buck 5-point bigger and 1 button buck. Now, and I think he put down the pound, the weight of the buck. So he goes in the field 15 minutes later, and what I've heard is that usually takes hours to hunt for something. He finds himself in the field, and all of a sudden this buck with 5 horns comes and he stares at him. He's like, he's right in front of me, he's not moving. And I take my gun and I go, boom. He gets his first fruit, he harvests the fruit. And then after a little while, the little buck comes, the button buck, same way. just stares around and grazes, and he sees me and it's like, all right, this is strange. He shots that, takes him home. He says, well, that was interesting. He goes to his wife and says, this was quite interesting. Up until this moment, I would go out and I would wait and wait and wait and wait, and nothing would happen. But this time I wrote it down. He says, I'm going to do this again. The next time he writes, I want to have a button buck and a buck 6-point or bigger. Guess which one comes first? The button buck. Oh, he says, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that I have to be that specific? Uh-huh. When he began to pay attention not only to the order of how things come, which is first and which is next, and what you're asking for is there. It's almost as if it's waiting for you. He said, wait a minute. I cannot be that powerful. I cannot have that much authority over my harvest, over my words. Well, sure enough, in his business, he wrote down, he said, $10 million. He said, guess how many cases I had to work with? 1, to get that $10 million. He learned the power of writing things down and being that specific. Not only that, but the order of operation. So now you say, ooh, how high can I think? How high can I go? How much can I ask for? I don't know. They say be careful what you ask for. Not what you ask for, but also the order of operation in which you ask. This is powerful. This is powerful. So, how are you creating your dream life? Well, I would say pay attention to what you're saying, to what you're writing, to what you're becoming aware to, and what you're focusing on grows, you're giving it life, and what you don't focus on dies. And so you don't focus on the marionette lines, you're focusing on another image. And guess what? You're going to harvest it. You're going to harvest it. I like to say that it's probably right there. It's there. I don't know what it will take. A cream, a lotion, an injection, a cosmetic surgery. I don't know. But what I'm saying is whatever is necessary for you to have to get from here to there is going to come. So it depends on what it is you're writing down. And depends on the image. Now, I can teach you all this stuff. Or I can tell this to myself. And you might say, but how come that is not working for you? Or perhaps I did not believe in the picture. I did not create the picture. And thus, the physical reality hasn't changed. But we know we change matter with the spirit, or we work in the spirit first, and then matter changes. So if you might say, well, Luminita, how come this didn't change in your life? Well, perhaps I'm not working on it, or I'm struggling with it, or I don't care, you see. So we cannot judge a book by its cover. So the bottom line is this: you are here to live your best life, and we're over 20 minutes. I will finish up another 1 minute now. You're here to live your best life, to experience what you've never experienced, to touch what you've never touched, feel what you've never felt, smell what you've never felt, eat what you've never eaten. And be very careful. If you want the cherry on top and the drizzle of coconut and shakes and shavings of almonds, make sure that you add all of that. We are taking 1 month to develop this. So now be very specific as to what you're writing down and what's the order of the words you're writing down. And use them in the you are, yes I am. Always agreement. That becomes a decision. When you say you are, yes I am, that's agreement or decision. It must come to pass. Which means somebody on the outside is going to say, wow, you are so beautiful, wow. And you go, yeah, I am. And then your eyes are going to be open and say, oops, what I wrote down was created. That means this person sees in me what I wrote down. That's proof. Okay? So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate all of you. Come within the private group in the Facebook community, and I will see you there. Also click on the Manifest Without Money program below, and I will see you within the program. Like, share, subscribe, and leave a notification. Click that notification bell button. I still have not learned how to put that on my videos. I'm not very techy, but I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to press upon you the knowledge and awareness of who you are and how you operate. So I'll see you next time. Bye now.